So, good morning to everyone. Today we are starting with the next paper, that is second paper of anatomy. So, almost all the second paper of anatomy, which includes the maximum related to the topics which are related to the thorax, then lower extremity. We have question number 2 will be the, that is, we have the lower extremity. First one in the question paper, anatomy question paper 2. In the paper second, there is a question which is asked commonly related to the, we have the question number first, which is almost all the, we have the, that is the thorax question. And thorax question you have to study, that is all for the 5 marks. Then question number 3 is relating to the lower extremity, that is about the 5 marks question, short notes we have. Then in that you consist the, that is a histology. So you have to remember the histology also in this, that is the question number 3 consist. Then question number 4 in the second paper, which consists of the 10 marks question, and that will be all relates to the lower extremity. Then question number 5 and question number 6. Question number 5 and 6 will be relating to the abdomen, and question number 7 is almost all the pelvis, that is the pelvic organs. That is all about the how the pattern of the second paper in the present university exams. So these almost all question bank I have already dictated to you. If you have the all this question bank, then you can remember about the almost all the topics. You can compare and you can add, which are I am going to explain now. So here almost all the points which are relating now, we are going to concentrate on the thorax topic, that is anatomy paper second question bank, that is consist of the question number 2 thorax, and almost all you should know about the, that is the 5 marks question. So in this you have to know first one, that is a one question is commonly asked, that is about the coronary circulation. Here very important to know about the coronary circulation. You have to know the whatever the coronary circulation, it can be asked in the maximum, that is the almost all. So coronary circulation, you may get the, that is sometime that question is asked about the, that is a blood supply of heart. So very important to remember about the blood supply of heart, that is also same, and when the coronary circulation is asked. So now whatever the you have to remember about the, in the coronary circulation, you have to know the what is the blood supply of the heart, how the coronary circulation is occurring. Now first one, you have to remember about the coronary circulation or blood supply of the heart. Both you have to know about the how to write. In this you have to know the heart is majority of the heart, almost all it is supplied by the right coronary artery and left coronary artery. In some time we get the questions like, that is the what is the blood supply of heart, what are the artery supplying blood supply to the heart, that you have to know. So here you have to write, don't undertake that mistakes, coronary artery. So whatever the blood supply which is supplies to the heart is by the main arteries, those are we call as that is a coronary artery, right and left coronary. It is said that maximum right atrium, right ventricle is supplied by the right coronary artery, and left coronary artery supplying the left atrium and left ventricle. So this is what in general blood supply of the total coronary circulation or coronary arteries. And these right and left coronary artery are the branches of the, that is the ascending aorta. Aorta has three parts: ascending, arch, and descending. So here you have to know the all these coronary arteries are two: right coronary artery, left coronary artery. They are arising from the ascending aorta. So whatever the veins which are draining, venous drainage is whatever we get the same coronary veins we have. That is, we have the coronary sinus. That also you have to remember. Coronary sinus also you have the coronary sinus is a major one, which is you are going to see. That is a venous drainage you are going to see. So in this you have to know almost all coronary sinus, that is a vein relating. So here you have to know about the coronary sinus. In that, majority of the vein, we have the superior, middle, and fourth cardiac veins, marginal veins. All these veins will be drains into the coronary sinus, and this coronary sinus is opening into the right atrium, and that is we are going to call as an circulation. That is the coronary circulation. Means what? Blood supply and venous drainage of the heart is called as an coronary circulation. So you have to mention almost all the right atrium, right ventricle, what are the blood supply which are supplying arteries. That is the right and left coronary artery, that you have to remember. So you should not be confused now. What is blood supply of heart means you have to write same, and the coronary circulation means that is you have to write in the same. Next comes about the second, which is we have the thoracic duct. This thoracic duct I have teached you, and you remember this is very important. Thoracic duct or azygous vein is commonly comes, that is either one vein, azygous, or the thoracic duct. Thoracic duct is the largest duct lymphatic vessel which is beginning at the upper part of the abdomen and ending at the neck region on the left side. Okay, in the that is the subclavian vein. Internal jugular and subclavian vein, we are going to get the angle formed. There it is ending. Where it is starting? It is starting with the cisterna chyli. At the abdomen, upper part of the cisterna chyli, thoracic duct is begins. That you have to remember. And whatever this is crossing the diaphragm, enters into the thorax, passing into the posterior mediastinum, crossing from right to the left, and it enters into the superior mediastinum. Then in the that is we are going to get as a end at the in the neck region. So this is what you have to largest duct. It, even though it is a lymphatic channel, but we call this is as a thoracic duct. Duct because you have to tell it is a large lumen and large vessel having the valves, vein-like it is all structure, and draining the limb, not the venous blood. And it is a large lumen and appears like a duct-like. So it is named as, instead of thoracic lymphatic channel, it is named as a thoracic duct. So you have to know about the very important diagram of the thoracic duct, that you have to practice. Then going to the hilum of the right and left lung. Very important question, root of the right and left lung and hilum of the right and left lung. That is, you have to remember about the same. Root, hilum, even pulmonary ligament, that all you have to remember about the in the hilum of the right and left lung, that you have to. So one difference you have to remember, hilum means the structures which are entering into the root of the lung. That is a entering structure and coming out of the organ or the structure, that region we call as a hilum. Hilum is what? If take the organ, any organ, if the blood vessels, nerves going, entering inside and coming out, venous drainage, lymphatic, all their venous drainage coming out, those we structures we call as coming out structure. And these all we call as that is the structures of the hilum of the particular organ. In the lungs, we have the, that is the right lung, left lung, different hilum. So you have the right lung, almost all right lung is surrounded in the hilum region by the pulmonary ligament. And this pulmonary ligament, which is there, that is almost all you have to remember, surrounds the all structures like, means what? Right lung, the right lung consists of the, we have the, that is the up arterial bronchus, hyparterial bronchus, then we have pulmonary artery, and we have superior pulmonary vein, inferior pulmonary vein. Pulmonary artery, superior inferior pulmonary vein are common in both the lungs. Okay, you have to remember. But in the right lung, it is consist of the, that is the up arterial bronchus, hyparterial bronchus. Superior inferior bronchus also we call principal bronchus, that is, okay. Then pulmonary artery is both the lungs, it will consist, and superior pulmonary vein, inferior pulmonary vein present in the both the lung. So you ought to know about the, almost all about the concept. Left lung, it has only one bronchus, that is known as a left principal bronchus. So you ought to know left principal bronchus, which is only present, pulmonary artery is there, superior inferior pulmonary veins are there, that you have to remember. So here, whatever the hilum of the right lung and left lung, you have to tell the hilum of the right and left lung, they have the following structures as I have mentioned just now. And it is all these structures are surrounded by the pulmonary ligament, and that is which all consist the, on the mediastinal surface, we are going to get the mediastinal surface of the lung. Okay. And that is you have to tell in the totally right and left lung, root, hilum, pulmonary ligament is asked, that you have to write it. Next, number fourth question is commonly asked, valves of the heart. Even it is commonly asked in the, that is the, you should know about the, that is in the physiology. What is the conducting system is asked. Sometime in the anatomy also asked the walls of the heart. So halls of the heart, you have to make the two categories. We have the atrioventricular orifices and we have the semilunar valves. AV valves and semilunar valves. There are two AV valves and two semilunar valves. AV valves, we are going to get valves in the heart. That is a right atrium to the right ventricle. There is a right atrioventricular orifices or the valves we call. Left atrium to the left ventricle, we are going to have the, that is the, we get the, that is the left atrioventricular orifices. Then semilunar valves, these semilunar valves we have in the aorta and pulmonary trunk. So aorta and pulmonary trunk, they have the half curved lunar shape, that is moon, half moon shape, that is a lunate we call. That is, we have three in number, and those which are in aorta and pulmonary trunk, they are present. So that is, you have to know about the, almost all about the, that is the walls of the heart. So you have to tell total walls of the heart. Heart consists of two types of walls we classify. That is into one category is known as AV walls and semilunar walls. AV walls, you have to tell, that is you have to tell about the, that is you have to tell about the almost all the, that is you have the atrioventricular valves, right and left atrioventricular orifices, they have the valves. Okay. And the walls, what is the function of these walls in the heart? So you have to remember almost all the walls, they are all meant for the almost all these walls, the functions of valve is they guide the blood to, that is the unidirectional flow. Means what? One direction flow. Whatever the walls anywhere in the body, which is we have veins also have the walls. We have the heart is having the wall. What is the function of valve is? The valve is it guides the blood to flow in one direction. Heart here also we have the once the blood is flowed in the one direction, it does not in the any pressure in the any condition, it does not revert back. So that you have to remember about the almost all the walls function, walls of the heart, walls of the veins, which you have the function, they prevent the, that is a backflow of the blood, or they allow the unidirectional blood flow. Only one direction blood flow is allowed. That is the functions of the valve. So you have to classify two types of valve. Even 2 marks question this is asked, that is the name the valves of the heart. You have to write properly, that is the AV valves, and we have the semilunar valves, that is you have to tell it. Then next comes about the, that is the after the valves and functions of the valves, then we are going to the pleura. When you see the pleura, you are going to get the, it is a covering of the lung. It is a serous membrane, which is like a peritoneum, covers the abdomen. Heart covers the, covered by the pericardium. Brain covered by the meninges. So majority in the our vital organs, they have the coverings. So almost all abdominal organs are covered by the peritoneum, we call. Then we are going to, then we are going to get the, that is the other part, which is you are going to see, that is the, you have the, that is a pleura. In this pleura is a covering around the lungs, right and left lung. We are going to tell this serous membrane which covers the almost all outer surface of the lung, lungs, right and left lung. And we have the right pleural cavity and left pleural cavity, and middle they are separated at the mediastinum, and both the pleuras having the right lung covering, left lung. We have right pleura, left pleura, right lung covering, right pleura, left lung covering, left pleura. And it is has the two layer, one is parietal and visceral layer. Parietal layer, which is we call, that is almost all, you have the parietal layer. This parietal layer, which is you are going to get outermost, thick one, and it is a pain sensitive. So outer almost all surface of the lung, which is having the parietal pleura. Visceral pleura, this parietal pleura again subdivided into a 4 subtypes. That is, we are going to get the, one is we have cervical pleura, then we have mediastinal pleura, then we have the costal pleura, one is we have the diaphragmatic pleura. Cervical pleura, apex of the lung covering. Mediastinal pleura, mediastinal surface of the lung. Costal surface of the lung is covered by the costal pleura. Diaphragmatic surface of the lung, which is base of the lung, is covered by the, that is a diaphragmatic pleura. So cervical, mediastinal, costal and diaphragmatic surface. These all surfaces covering that we call as a pleura. We have the parietal pleura is subdivided into 4 subtypes. Visceral pleura, very intact it is. Very intact, we cannot separate it from the outer surface of the lung tissue. And that is we call as a visceral pleura. So next we have the, in between parietal and visceral, we are going to have the pleural cavity, and this is pleural cavity. It is a potential space we are going to get in between the parietal and visceral, and it has a viscous fluid consist and prevents acts as a lubricant and prevents the friction between the two layers when chest is moving, lungs are moving, expanding and contracting. So that condition, there is a chance of friction between the two layers, parietal and visceral, that is prevented by the viscous fluid which is present in the pleural cavity. That is we are going to call. So in the pleura, it is you have to write almost all the diagram pleura, parietal and visceral pleura. Then the recesses of pleura you have to tell. When lung expands, these folds out, costodiaphragmatic, costomediastinal recesses we are going to have. These are the folds we are going to get. And in this, you have to tell very important, that is applied anatomy is the pleura. That is the we have the paracentesis thoracis. Paracentesis thoracis means abnormal collection of fluid in the pleural cavity. We are going to tap it out, and that we are going to call as a paracentesis thoracis. This is what we call as an and abnormal collection of fluid in the pleural cavity is called as an pleural effusion. Effusion is what? Something abnormal collected fluid in the region, that you have to know. In the pleura, that is the pleural effusion we call. Inflammation of pleura, pleurisy, we call inflammation of pleura. Then we have the collection of fluid is there. If it is a fluid and air is there, hydropneumothorax we call. If it is consists the blood, then we call hemothorax we call. Only it is contain air, pneumothorax we call. Hydropneumothorax, like that, hemothorax, pneumothorax, hydropneumothorax, pleurisy, pleural effusion, paracentesis thoracis. That is, we are going tapping the abnormal collected fluid in from the pleural cavity. Nowadays, we tap the more excessive collection of fluid in the pleural region by the with the ultrasonography aided draining. We call ultrasonography aided pleural tapping. Ultrasonography aided pleural tapping. That is very easy. You are in the pleural cavity, you are not going to go to the damaged lungs, because patient is breathing. Meanwhile, you have to remove the fluid collected in the pleural cavity. So this is all about the pleura and layers of pleura, types of pleura, recesses of pleura, then clinical anatomy of the pleura. Then comes about the arch of the aorta. In this arch of aorta, heart is having the main great vessel in the body is aorta. And this aorta arising from the left ventricle. And it is has a three parts: ascending aorta, arch of aorta, and descending. So arch of aorta is asked, means you have to tell that is the, it begins at the, that is the end of the ascending aorta. It terminates at the level where the beginning of the descending thoracic aorta starts. That is you have to remember. Then here arch of aorta, you have to remember, in the arch of aorta we have the three branches: right brachiocephalic, left common carotid, left subclavian artery. So that is very important to know about the arch of aorta. Here you have to know about the arch of the aorta is commonly we are going to have the almost all three branches of the arch of aorta: right brachiocephalic, left common carotid, left subclavian. This is very important point you have to know in the arch of aorta. It is present at the level beginning and end of the arch of aorta at the sternal angle of Lewis. That region it is starting and ending. Arch of aorta begins at the sternal angle level and it ends also at that level. That is the we call as the sternal angle level. So this is very important to know about the arch of aorta. And arch of aorta is giving three important branches. 2 marks question. It is commonly asked, that is the what are the branches of the arch of aorta? You have to tell right brachiocephalic, left common carotid, and left subclavian artery. That is, you have to know about the arch of the aorta. The next questions commonly asked about the either right, one chamber of the heart. So as we have started the lungs and pleura, so even separate question can be asked as a left lung and right lung. You have to study and keep it. There is no both the together the lungs are asked, but you should able to write the one lung. So whatever the lung, you have to write proper notes of the one lung, right lung, left lung. But relations and all you have to know. That is the one important thing you have to remember. So here, whatever you have to remember about the almost all the things which is you can see here, that is uh, that is about the right or the left lung. So one thing I wanted to tell you here, that is the you are going to get the left lung. You have to make the all the what is the lung. These are the pair of respiratory organ definition you have to make situated in the right and left thoracic cavity, imaginated or covered by the that is the right and left pleural cavity, and they are each are separated by the mediastinum. That is, you have to write. Left lung, you have to tell shape, size, weight, all you have to. Lobes, right lung has the 3 lobes, 2 fissures. Left lung has 2 lobes, 1 fissure. Fissures, we have the oblique and horizontal fissure. Lobes in the right lung, we have the upper, middle, and lower lobe. Left lung has upper, lower lobe. Then we have the almost all the next point, that is the about the one we have the oblique fissure. So this is all you have to include in the points of the right and left lung. So next you have the in the lung relations of the right lung, mediastinal relations are very important. Right and left lung, very important, you have to remember. Right lung mediastinal relations, you have the right atrium, we have the partly right ventricle, then also that is a we have the superior vena cava, and we have the azygous vein, then we have trachea, esophagus, right phrenic, right vagus nerve, we are going to get an inferior vena cava. They all are the relations of the mediastinal surface of the right lung. Left lung, we have the left lung is related to the left ventricle, and partly we are going to get left atrium. Then we are going to have the ascending aorta, arch of aorta, descending thoracic aorta. We have pulmonary trunk. Then we have the left brachiocephalic, left common carotid, trachea, esophagus, left phrenic and left vagus nerve, and we have the recurrent laryngeal nerve, external laryngeal nerve. So all these we are going to get, and one more add here. Azygous is related to the right lung, and thoracic duct is related to the left lung. So that is, you have to remember, trachea, esophagus, both they are related. Then I have told the other things relations in this. You have the common right side, right phrenic, right vagus, left side, left phrenic, left vagus. That you have to remember. So almost all you have to get the almost all right and left lung. So separately you should able to write the when question is asked about the only short notes, that is the right lung or the left lung. In that you should able to write definition, what are the external features, you have to tell borders, surfaces, lobes, fissures, then weight of the lung. Then next you have to go for the right lung mediastinal relations, left lung mediastinal relation. Then shortly, two, 2 to 3 points of the applied anatomy you can write. That is the resection of lobes, that is affected lobe, tuberculosis, bronchial asthma, and pneumonia. And we have the that is almost all the infectious disease affecting that is. As you know, the coronavirus now presently, first stage it affecting at the nose, then throat, Then if it is not controlled in the nose and throat, it may enters into the lung, and in the lung it is causing the third stage, and that is very difficult. Patient gets the uh, oxygen saturation of blood is reduced, unable to breathe, becomes breathless, and that condition we require the patient to keep on ventilator. So it is very important to know the lung, the infectious disease like tuberculosis and all commonly affecting lungs. And nowadays, coronavirus is also affects the lungs. Okay, but before that, it reaching to the lung, it is affects the nose, nasal cavity, then throat. Then it is not. It remains about 7 days. Then after 7 days, it is not controlled. It is enters into the lung. There it is causing the pneumonia. Glass ground appearance on the chest X-ray CT scan. Then that time you have to diagnose with the other major methods. Then you can diagnose as COVID-19 positive. So almost all person becomes breathless. Here in the lung, lungs are the respiratory organ. Here the person is unable to maintain his oxygen level. So that is very important. Above 94, 95 PO2 we require, but it is coming to the 80, below 80, then person is required on put on oxygen and ventilator. That is there. So that is all you have to remember in the clinical anatomy. And I have told the relations of the right lung and left lung. One more question here you have to tell about the what is the difference between the right and left lung. Difference between right and left lung also you have to remember. That is the what is the weight of the right lung. Commonly in generally we have the 700 and left we may remember as a 600. There is 50 grams difference between this. Right lung consists, we have the 3 lobes, left lung is 2 lobes. Right lung has 3 lobes, those are the upper, middle and lower, upper and lower in the left lung. Then I am talking about the difference between right and left lung. I have told 10 points you have to know about the difference between right and left lung. Then I have told the fissures, 2 fissures in the right oblique and horizontal, but oblique fissure in the left lung. Then you have to tell the general features like apex, base, we have anterior border, posterior border, both lung they are having. Then we are going to have the one is the left lung is having the cardiac notch and right lung absent. Lingula is present in the left lung, absent in the right lung. Then I have told the widest and heavier, that is right lung, narrower, longer, that is about the left lung. Then you have to tell about the relations, mediastinal relations, right atrium, right ventricle related to the right lung, left ventricle is related to the left lung. Then right phrenic, left phrenic in the right lung, left phrenic, left vagus, that is all in the left lung. Next, I have told the bronchopulmonary segments. They are present in the 10-10 in each lung. Then you have to tell about the, that is the relations, that is the other relation, trachea, esophagus in the both, they are related, that you have to tell. Root of the lung I have told, right lung consists the epiarterial, hyparterial bronchus, left lung consists the left principal bronchus. Pulmonary artery, superior, inferior pulmonary artery, both the lung, they are consisting. So these are the major 10 to 12 points where we can write about the difference between the right and left lung. So that is very important to know about the, that is the right and left lung. So bronchopulmonary segment, these are the well-defined sectors of the lung, each one of which are aerated by the terminal bronchioles. That is, we call it the bronchopulmonary segment. 10 on right side, 10 on the left side. You have to remember with the diagram, apical, medial lateral, anterior posterior, apical basal, anterior basal, lateral basal, medial basal, posterior basal. They are the 10 which is you have to know in the bronchopulmonary segment. What is a bronchopulmonary segment is a question commonly asked. Then left lung, right lung is commonly asked. Pleura is asked. That is all you have to know about this. Okay. So this is all about today's lecture. 1 minute remains. Anytime it may close. So I have covered the lung, majority pleura and lung, coronary circulation, thoracic duct, hilum of right and left lung, walls of the heart. Next lecture, I will continue with the same thorax topic. That is, we are going to deal about the that is the remaining questions: pericardium and heart, mediastinum, a zygous vein. All will do it. So this is all about the today's lecture of the thorax study and diagram practice. Points you have to remove. Remove lung, right and left lung separately and practice it. So today's lecture this much, and we are continuing the next lecture, that is remaining questions. I am going to deal on mostly on the Saturday. Okay. Have a good day and